Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugga. I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. We're just continuing on with our career. I'm pretty sure we were selecting a job at the end of the last video, and I just didn't choose which one I was going to take. And I think it was between the 8 tons of tractor, yeah, and the 14 tons of logs. Uh, I don't know. This is pretty cool. Oh no, wait, this goes somewhere we've been. So what was the other one? I think maybe this one? Oh yeah, because they're both going to the same area, it looks like. Yeah, they're both going to the same town. I don't think there was anything else on the second page I was really interested in. They had big log. Um, well, that's 1600 land distance, actually. That's not bad. And it's definitely a different trailer to take. I mean, the price is a bit shitty in comparison. You're talking 50,000 versus 40, but I'm all about going where I haven't been again and towing unique trailers. So let's tow this giant log. Oh, that's right. We also have a new engine. Yeah, that's right. We're trying that 750 horsepower, I think it is. Wait a minute. What engine do we have in here? I forget. I just forget what it's called. Company manager. Yes, I need truck manager. Uh, it should say, yeah, the 720 horsepower Caterpillar with 4,179 Newton meters. This may actually even give us better fuel economy. I don't know how it exactly works in the game. Uh, God, look, my Mercedes have gone much farther than my Freightliner. Okay. Yeah. So we got a new engine and a new sound. Yeah, that is definitely a different sound. All right. Hi. Again, forgetting what part of the country I'm in. That actually sounds pretty cool. That's a really nice engine sound, though. I gotta give it that credit. Again, already forgetting. Already forgetting, you know, what side of the road I'm supposed to be driving on. So, yesterday was actually a really good day. And the reason it was a really good day is for the first time in about, I'm gonna say close to 2 months. Not exact, not quite 2 months. No, we're in September, right? September, August, July. Yeah, about 2 months. Because I don't know if yeah, I started it in July. So about 2 months now, maybe a little bit more than 2 months. I have been working on weed eating the yard, as I've told you. And interestingly enough, you know, I've never been able to finish the yard because, you know, it's just too much. You know, I've been too big, back problems, all kinds of stuff. It's just been too much for me to handle. That's all there is to it. Oh, this place. What happened to... Where's my big log? Job market. Mark it. Here. It's gone. It expired before I could get here. Fuck. Instead, it's been replaced. Man, that's just too short. You know, why not? Why not? Let's do it. And I don't have to go very far because we're here. Let's do it. I'm gonna do a T-bone hookup on this rather than... I call it T-bone. I guess maybe you could also just call it a T-hookup. But just to make it easier, I'm just hooking up to the trailer from the side. No, the truck is not accelerating that slowly. I'm not putting a lot of throttle into it right now to get out of here. I'm just taking it nice and slow, nice and easy. It's not struggling under the weight of the trailer. It's just not. Once we get out of here, then I can throttle again. And I gotta remember to pull on this side of the road. There we go. Come on, I saw you. You're the reason I waited. Despite having 4,000 Newton meters, I will say I'm accelerating a little bit slower than... So the 1,000 horsepower engine does seem to make a difference. But she's still doing pretty good, and I love the sound. But there's something I forgot, and I'll take care of it once I get around this corner. I should have my lights on as well, but, you know, that's what I forgot. After every time you change something, you have to fucking do that, and it's annoying. Oops. That's not your lights, that's your lights. Oh, struggling up the hill, are we? How much does this wood weigh to cause that? I didn't look at the weight of the, trailer. Only 20 tons. At 4,000 Newton meters? I should have been able to blast over that hill. Oh, well, maybe not. Maybe not. Come on. Ah, there we go. Maybe it also doesn't help that I'm on the 13-speed transmission still. I don't know. I wanted to get that slow down sound, man. I'm sorry. I don't know about keeping this motor, but it sounds good. I gotta give it at least that much. So anyways, as I was saying, in the about 2 months I've been doing the yard, I've never been able to fully complete it. Part of that has to do with the amount of rain, just to be fair. Part of that has to do with the amount of rain that has been falling. Because for the months I've been doing the yard. It like rained every fucking day for a month and a half. Just rain. It just never stopped. I'd go out, I'd weed eat, and then in the afternoon it would rain. Then I'd weed eat, then it rained. Then I'd weed eat, and it rained. If it didn't rain during the day, it rained at night. So the grass was just growing like crazy because it had all this water, and it was a mix, you know. It would have sunshine until about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's plenty of sunshine, and then from then till evening, till nighttime, it would rain. And that's all that just kept happening. So the grass had everything it needed to grow, like a frickin' like I don't know, anything. And grass, by the way, is the fastest growing plant in general, I guess, as a species. Species the right term? I don't know. But it's one of the fastest growing plants, if not, you know, like the fastest in general overall class of plant out there. It really is. I mean, bamboo is the fastest growing grass there is, followed by sugarcane. Sugarcane is the second fastest growing. Yes, I know these for a fact. Anyways, so the grasses just had, you know, all of this stuff to grow, and I could only weed eat so much. Then I had to go back and cover the areas that I didn't, you know, cover the areas that I had already done and had to recut them. So I basically had to prioritize the yard and just let a certain area that I wanted to cut over in the side yard grow. And I just said, you know, I can't do it. I can't. I've got to come back and I've got to cut the more important areas closer to the house and where the cars park and in the front yard than in the side yard. And so that's what I did. Well, partly due to the lack of rain, partly due to the fact that now I can go outside and work for an hour and a half versus what used to be at one time, you know, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Although I didn't only work 10, 15 minutes. I'd work, like I said before, 10 or 15 minutes and I'd sit down. 10 minutes, sit down. 10 minutes, sit down. Well, now I can go for an hour, hour and a half, and if I really push myself, so I found out, nearly 2 hours of just straight weed eating, minus a couple pauses to stand up, stretch my back, loosen up my arm, which gets a bit numb after a little bit, and for regassing and changing the wick on the weed eater. You know, those are the only things I do to change. So it's still around an hour and a half or so of working time. That, coupled with the lack of rain, coupled with the fact that I've become more efficient at weed eating, I can move faster, work faster, and I do a better job at cutting the yard now. You know, practice has made better. I'm not going to say perfect. Practice has made better. So yeah, we're going to need to lower down these, probably even lower than that. I don't care. Rev that motor! So all that combined means that, and I know that you've figured it out by now, that you've worked up to the point of figuring it out. I finished all of the yard that I'm going to cut. The whole side yard, the whole front yard, the whole backyard. There's only one area. There's only one area. I'm just stay here, whatever. That I haven't cut. Well, kind of like two areas. One area is the smaller side yard on the other side of the house. I kind of looked at that and went, no. Not because I don't want to do it, just, well, that's not quite right, but it's not because, like, you know, I'm just like, nah, fuck it, I'm just going to be lazy and not do it. No, that's not how I mean it. Yay, gas station. On the wrong side of the highway. Pretty sure. But I can't reach it. Yeah, it's over there. So where's the gas station? It's supposed to be on the opposing side of the highway. I'm like low on fuel. But that side of the yard is a lot of what I call grass bulbs. Maybe that's it up there. I see something, looks like it comes off the highway. That might be a gas station. Yeah, okay, we're good. So, yeah, I call them grass bulbs. And I just don't want to tangle with it. Besides, letting the grass grow in that area does have its benefits. There's a house frame sitting on that side of the yard, and that helps grow up around it and cover up under the house frame, which there's some stuff that's laying under it. And, you know, that just, I don't know, to me it makes it look a little nicer. And plus there's a pile of older lumber that sits up in that area, and it's a little close to the road. So that being said, you know, the grass growing up over that helps cover that in case anyone ever try and got the idea to maybe take it. Well, number one, it would be really fucking difficult to do without our dogs noticing that you're in the yard. But on top of that, it also, you know, it just covers the lumber. That's what I'm getting at. It covers the lumber. No, I don't need to long explain that shit. It just covers up the lumber so that it's not as easy to see. And it doesn't look bad. You know, it really doesn't. It looks, you know, nice because the fact that it's cut in a straight line. The edge that I left for the area I'm not cutting is cut straight, and I actually keep it cut even as well. So when I do the yard, I kind of run the weed eater up and down the side of the taller grass to get rid of any long. Fucking hate when this happens. To get rid of any long grass that's like bending over the straight lined area, so that it stays in a straight line, so that people can see that that grass is deliberately left to grow tall. And there's a small area in the back. I don't know what the speed limit is. 50. Okay, I'm going a little over 50. But it shouldn't be so much that it shouldn't be so much that it got noticed. remembering to use my analog speedometer versus my digital. Because my analog shows the miles per hour. My digital, man, I'll get to that in a minute. The other area that I leave uncut is a small strip of area in the back, or that I was leaving uncut. Actually, it's a small strip of area in the back that I left. And that's basically to cause a visual barrier between the house and the gulch in the backyard. Plus, it helped keep the dogs away from the edge of the gulch, which I always get worried about. But what I didn't know is that my mother-in-law had planted papaya trees. Fuck you, fucking, you know, this is why I stay in the mid lane. This is just why I stay in the mid lane. Yeah, my mother-in-law had planted papaya trees in the backyard, and I went out there and saw her like knocking down the grass and whatnot. I was like, what? What? And I went and I asked, and she said, and I said, oh, okay. So I asked her, you know, which ones are the papaya trees, so I know. And she pointed them out to me, and it was like, yeah, okay. Ah. So now that I know where the papaya trees are, what they look like, I am speeding like the fuck, and I'm probably going to run into a speed camera here because this is construction. 50 again. But anyways, yeah, so now that I know where they are, I can go and I can keep the area clear if I need to. They've been laying something down over it, maybe thick old, you know, cut down grass or whatever, but they've been laying something over it to help keep the grass down, so I may not have to, but now that I know it's there, I can go and make sure I keep the grass down so that she doesn't have to do that. But yeah, for the first time in 2 months, I finished the whole yard. And I don't know, my lack of self-confidence says, yeah, it's only due because of the lack of rain, because it hasn't been raining so much, the grass hasn't been growing so fast, you've been able to catch up to it. But there is that side of me that's like, I've been losing weight. I've been getting stronger. I've been getting my stamina back. You know what I'm saying? So I like to think that a big part of it too is the fact that I'm getting in better shape. I'm getting healthier still. I'm getting stronger still. And that I've been able to do this because of that. And man, it was a good feeling. It was a really good feeling when I finished. I was trying very hard to finish the last little bit without changing the wick on the weed eater, and I was just making it more difficult and longer for myself. I really was. The wick had worn very quickly on the weed eater. As a matter of fact, it's basically reminded me to buy a thicker wick next time I go and buy. So I just didn't want to stop. I wanted to finish it. I wanted to finish it. I wanted to complete it. I wanted it to be done. So I just stuck with it and stuck through it. Eventually I got about 3/4 or maybe even 7/8. I don't know, man. Somewhere between 3/4 and 7/8. And I know that's a big variance, but still. So I'll just say like 75 to 90% done. I looked and I just stopped and I looked at the wick on the weed eater and I said, if I do this, this small area is going to take me another 15 minutes. So I went and I changed the wick 2 minutes after I changed the wick. Done. It was funny. real funny. So, man. Yeah, I'm not overly fond of this motor. Despite having 4,100, almost 4,200 Newton meters. At 20 kilometers, at 20 tons rather, only 20 tons of wood, I lost a lot of speed on that hill. So either this engine isn't set right in the game, like the information for the engine says one thing, but the actual programming for it says another, or it really is about the well, I think about it, horsepower really is more about top end. So when I'm cruising at higher speeds, it really does make a difference. Yeah, it really would make a difference in higher speeds cruising along the highway, especially with the transmission I'm using, which is only a 13-speed cruising transmission versus the 18-speed towing transmission. So, yeah, that's pretty significant in my book, now that I think about it, because as I've said before, the quick and dirty, and it's not really a good explanation, but it's a decent generalization. Horsepower is about high end. It's about how fast you can go, how much strength you have at the five. About how much strength you have when you're at the top end, how much speed you can get up, and how well you can maintain it. Torque is about low end. It's about pulling. It's about grunt power. It's about getting off the line. It's about getting moving and getting going. Which is why trucks can have low end horsepower but such strong torque on diesel engines versus cars who have a really high amount of horsepower but a lower amount of torque in most cases. And again, one of the reasons trucks use diesels is because the amount of torque a diesel engine can pull at lower RPMs, 1,500 RPM average on a rig, to get your best torque. Where a car, its strongest torque is at 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, it's way up there in the RPMs. So it does make a little more sense that I'm going to lose more speed with this engine going uphill on a highway versus doing the same thing with an engine that has I got 720, so it was about a 300 horsepower difference if I remember right. I've got 750 horsepower. I had 1,000 or 750, 720, somewhere around there, and I had 1,050 on the other one. So yeah, that would be 300 horsepower difference, and that might make a difference in the top end. I'm not an engine expert. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a builder, designer, or anything like that. So that's guesswork, but I just feel like it would make a difference. When dealing with a truck, dealing with a rig, it is really all about your torque. How many Newton meters, how many foot-pounds you can put down. And that's really what it's all about. Being able to get that load moving and keep it moving and towing it even uphill. Having that strength and power to do so. More than it is about horsepower. Yeah, because I didn't have to go out today to weed eat, I'm actually recording this now during the day, and then I'm going to upload it right after, and then while I'm uploading, I'm going to record another video So, I know I do this, and I know I don't often get responses, but even one response would help me. There's something I think about doing. Now, I don't think I would replace Euro Truck because, you know, this is what you guys come here to watch. And I'm more than happy to give you that content. You know, I really enjoy playing the game. But one thing I'm, curious about, one thing I've been thinking about doing, because, you know, games have come out and I just haven't been able to get them because I can't afford it, especially now that my wife's no longer here. My budget is pretty tight, and I've got some upcoming expenses to really think about. The registration for my car, that's $200 something, and yeah, that's going to probably be split. It's going to have to be split between me and my family here. But you know, I've also got to think about an oil change on my car. I got to think about a couple other things I just can't think of right now. But my biggest concern is the registration for the car, making sure the car is registered. The car has to be registered and it has to be insured, or the company, the bank that holds lien, can immediately charge me full price for the car, and if I don't pay it, it gets repoed. So that has to be done. But there are a couple games that have come out that I've been wanting to get but can't just because of how much they are. Witcher 3, big one. Metal Gear Solid 5, first Metal Gear game I've wanted to play ever. Despite the problems behind it, the small bit, it's still I saw speed cameras. I haven't seen a speed sign, so I'm just gonna take it down to 50. Yeah, but Metal Gear Solid, Witcher 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, all games I've desperately wanted to play and buy, but just can't afford. However, there is one game on the horizon. There is one game. And we haven't heard much about it. There's been very little about it because, you know, it's still a ways off. It still is a ways off. And, when that game comes out, I am getting it, regardless of what I have to do. I don't care if I have to lie, cheat, and steal to get it. It is a game that I am getting, period. And that game is Mass Effect 4. I mean, the only thing we really know about Mass Effect 4 is it has nothing to do with Shepard. You know, it's a complete break from the base. But what I've been considering doing is going back to my extreme roots. Some of the first videos I've uploaded, and the only game series that I've uploaded religiously, basically, when it came out, that I did full playthroughs on each one, was the Mass Effect series. Also, one of the few games that I've actually played all the way through. Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 are games that I have actually played all the way through and beaten. And the only games I've done it multiple times. To get me to play a game all the way through and beat it, you gotta be a good game. Because you gotta make me want to override my sense of not wanting to beat the game and not wanting it to be over. To get me to replay you multiple times after beating you the first time, you gotta be good. Please no speed cameras. Please no speed cameras. Please no speed cameras. Please. When I start seeing speed limit signs, I start worrying about speed cameras. So what I've been thinking about doing is jumping back to my roots and uploading, or trying to upload alongside my Euro Truck, is a full playthrough from Mass Effect 1. Cameras because it's a construction zone. is a full playthrough of the Mass Effect series from Mass Effect 1 all the way to the end of Mass Effect 3. And I have most of the DLC, and I may be even able to get any DLC that I'm missing for Mass Effect 3, because I believe that's the only DLC I am missing is anything from Mass Effect 3. But I have all the DLC for Mass Effect 1. I have all the DLC for Mass Effect 2. So it'll be the DLC for the Mass Effect 3 damn it. I got on the throttle just a little too early. I was doing good avoiding that. Ah, well, it's alright. But, yeah, I was thinking about doing a full playthrough and letting you guys decide if you are so willing and inclined to actually comment what kind of playthrough do I do? Do I do a Paragon or do I do a Renegade? And do I do it, do I do a balance? Do I get to make my own free choices? Because sometimes in my own playthroughs, I would choose Renegade, but I was mostly Paragon. And the only thing I do is there would be a few rules when I play. Rule number 1, if somebody dies on a mission by accident in a cutscene or whatever, I am not allowed to reset, restart, and try and save that person. Number 2, given the option to kill someone or leave somebody behind, if I play a Renegade, I have to do that. These are not spoilers unless you have not played. God damn you, speed cameras. Okay, seriously. I gotta get this wood where it's going. Quit cramping my style. In Mass Effect 1, there is an option where you shoot and kill Rex, who is one of the more popular characters in the game. Given the option in the full Renegade playthrough, I would have to shoot and kill him and not be able to have him show up at all into, I don't think I'm, yeah, I was. But I don't think it, oh, the gas, it took me through the gas station because it was just that much quicker. Oh, I didn't see that. Wow. So anyways, yeah, as I was saying, it would have to take me through, I'd have to shoot Rex and not have him show up at all in Mass Effect 2 or in Mass Effect 3. There's another one in Mass Effect 2, you get that bounty hunter who's like hard up on killing this one guy, and you get this choice towards the end of the mission to rescue him or leave him behind in an exploding building, and you'll end up losing him as well. So given those options, I would have to do that. I would have to take a Renegade stance. Which, a Renegade playthrough in Mass Effect, most people will tell you, is probably one of the hardest things to do. Because you want to go through and you want to be a dick, but the game is so good at making connections and hitting your emotions that making those decisions actually are really hard and hurt. You don't want your crew to die. You don't want to kill Rex. You don't want to hurt people. Because it does such an amazing job pulling at your feelings, So, it would be a much tougher playthrough for me to make those choices. To be the renegade. But I'll do it. And another rule is I save Caden in Mass Effect 1. Most you know, I forget the name of the female soldier, which is kind of funny because she's the one I choose to rescue all the time, and she's usually the one I choose to romance in the first series. Because I don't know why I got on this side. I should be in the outside lane because this just isn't going to work. I always choose to save her. Most people, especially that play a male shepherd, and I will be playing a male shepherd as opposed to the female shepherd. Not that I actually prefer, just to be straight with you, I prefer to play the female shepherd. But for the sake of the playthrough, I'm going to be playing the male shepherd, and I'll explain why. With the playthrough, I save Caden and let the other girl die because I've never saved Caden, ever. I've always saved the girl. So I would save Caden this time and leave her behind to die. And secondly, in terms of... Oh, thanks, Rain. In terms of romance, in the first one, kind of doesn't matter, but since I'll be saving Caden and not the other girl, the romance will be Leora, because she's the only other option if I choose to romance anyone at all. But I want to play a male shepherd because of the second choice. Cut this hard inside. Yeah. I don't think it's going to matter, but hey. I want to romance Tali. I haven't romanced her yet. So I want to choose romance Tali, so obviously I have to play a male shepherd in order to do that. But those would be the rules. I can't save anybody. If given the option to kill someone, I have... Oh yeah, there is one more rule, and I forgot. And it's kind of an important rule. And that rule is simply this. I am allowed to save my crew on the suicide mission. Not meaning a restart, but you know, there's an option where like pretty much all of your crew can die during the suicide mission. That includes Shepard, honestly. But during the suicide mission, you can upgrade your ship, and if you upgrade all of your ship, then nobody dies. If you miss an upgrade on your ship at all, then something will happen along the way, and one of your people in that area of the ship will be killed. So I can upgrade my entire ship and save everybody during the suicide mission fight. But yeah, if I'm given the option to kill someone in the, in a renegade choice, I have to kill them. You should give me a ticket. I'm not going that much faster than 60. Yeah, so given that option, I have to kill them. I'm not allowed to save someone if they die by accident or by bad choice on a mission. Oh, fuck. And, well, I honestly forget off the top of my head because I've been talking about it so much what the other one was. But I'd have to stick to the rules, period. When I'm romancing Tali, saving Gate, and all that. So, the things I'd want you guys to mention is, one, would you like to see this? Would you like to see a playthrough of Mass Effect 1 to 3? Kind of in honor of Mass Effect 4 being made and coming out at some point. I don't know how far, but I'd actually like to do the playthroughs now rather than wait. If you guys would like to see the playthrough, what would you want to see? Renegade? Paragon? Or I get freedom of choice? And 3, what class should I play? I've got 2 favorite classes to play. Even though I forget one of them. My first favorite class to play is Soldier. Because you can use all the guns and you can use them all really well, which is very powerful in the game. Yeah, I know, I'm just letting it cruise at speed right now. So I could play Soldier. Or I usually play, the Psi one, the one with the psionic abilities. I'm really starting to hate these construction areas. Yeah, but the one with the psionic abilities, that class. But I believe there's also at least 2 more classes. I know one of them's Engineer. And we could easily play an Engineer class. And I forget, I know that there's one more. There's a 4th class. And I'd have to go and look it up in order to know it. And I didn't think I would forget it right now, just to be honest with you. So, yeah, but it'd basically be your choice. Would you want to see a full playthrough, Mass Effect 1 through Mass Effect 3? See a full playthrough, Renegade or Paragon, and what class do I play? I'd be really interested to know if some of you are willing to comment on it. Again, like I said, I know a lot of you here are here just for Euro Truck, and that is fine. If you don't want to see it, I understand. I really do. But these are just things I like to do, because I'm going to promise you this. I botched this corner so badly. Because I promise you this right now. Regardless about how I feel, and regardless of how anyone else feels, when Mass Effect 4 comes out, not only am I going to get it, but I'm going to do a playthrough of it, and I'm going to post it. Even if that means it overrides Euro Truck. Just because that is how much I love the Mass Effect series. Plain, simple, raw cut. Why'd you stop? Oh, probably because somebody was trying to pass me. Alright, I know I'm tired, man. I need to find a place to rest. Unfortunately, that one's down on the highway. And I'm pretty sure that this video is going to be longer than average, because this was a 900-something kilometer trip. So I can usually run 800 kilometers. Well, you know, no, I know how I can do this. I actually know how I can do this. Let's switch up the formula a little bit. But I'm in kind of desperate need of a resting place here. If I don't find one soon, I'm going to be in trouble. Alright, this is where we look at the map and see how much trouble we're in. Alright, not in trouble. Yeah, you see, I know how that's gonna go, but I also know how to fix it. I've been thinking about changing up the formula about how I play the game. At least a little bit. I think I have yet to tow a dangerous substance cargo. I don't know, since I started getting my ADR. I don't know if I've done that or not. Oh, rain stopping. Awesome, awesome. We're almost there. Yes, I know. 200 more yards and we're good. Putting on my directional just a little early. Wow. Okay. Come on. Forgetting that. Ah! I really hope you stop. Yeah, forgetting I did this entirely wrong. Because these are reverse compared to what they normally are. So what are you doing, dumbass? Something stupid. Something very, very stupid. Turning around and doing it again. Just because I'm not smart enough to do it the right way. Oh, well, sorry. Sorry. Your fault for staying too close. Yep, sorry. Forgetting that this is not the typical gas station and forgetting what region I'm in again. I'm supposed to pull in this side. Let's just kind of stop here until one of these dummies move. Oh, fuck you! My lights are still on, by the way. And I always forget how to turn them off. Now, obviously, we don't have that much further to go. But how I'm going to do this here is I'm just going to end the video here. and then we'll finish the rest of the trip. Instead of sleeping and starting again fresh, depending on how much further we have to go, I may just pick up the trailer and go, and then we'll just continue that into the next video. And I'll just try and run it like that. We'll see how that happens. So, yeah, let me know what you think about that Mass Effect series, Mass Effect 1 through 3 playthrough again, um, and kind of getting prepped for whenever, however long or far away it is, the new Mass Effect game comes out. I'd be really interested in hearing that. But otherwise, folks, that's going to be me done for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've been enjoying bringing it to you. Until next time, it's going to be one big bugger. I'm going to be signing out.